go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Bezos greed has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Bezos greed has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
Those that think they're in command of life, these motherfuckers better be aware of what is getting ready to come down here. Just like if the sun refused to shine, the water refused to flow, the food refused to come up on the earth, everything will cease. They better understand that if Amazon workers around the world stop, everything will stop. Beware and understand those corporate greedy monsters. Your time is coming to an end. I'm here in solidarity today with everyone. On the move, long live revolution, and take this mother sucker down. Long live revolution.
I think this country has learned a valuable lesson last year, 2020, with this COVID-19 pandemic. When they needed heroes, when they needed something to get done, they didn't go to the CEOs, they didn't go to Jeff Bezos, they went to the Amazon workers, they went to the UPS workers, they went to the warehouse workers, because they knew that in order for the country to continue to run, it had to be done by the workers.
When this country needed us the most and everything shut down, only people that didn't shut down were the Amazon workers, the UPS workers, the USPS workers. All the union workers who couldn't stay home are the ones that they're trying to tear down. So what message are they sending to all of America? They're telling you that your hard work, your safety, your family does not matter. All that matters to them is their bottom line. As long as their bottom line stays up and you stay down, they stay happy.
Many years ago, I was a manager at a national corporation. Now the name is not important, but what is important is what I learned from them. I learned who I did not want to be. This company valued profits and processes over people. For many years, I followed their agenda, and people were not a priority for them, so people were not a priority for me. I am sad to say I was a manager who did not care about workers' rights. But I am not that person anymore, and I will never be that person again. Several years ago, I was introduced to an organized group of workers who fight to protect their rights, advocate for safety in the workplace, and negotiate wages, among many other things. Does anybody know what this group of workers is called? A union. And every worker has a right to a union. Amazon's emphasis is on TOT, or time off task. That emphasis is inhumane. We cannot treat humans like robots. Going to the bathroom is a basic human right, not a privilege. TOTs are terrible operating tactics. Solidarity forever. Thank you.
We must be in solidarity with incarcerated workers being forced to work for slave wages. And during this COVID-19 pandemic, thousands of them have died because of the inability to social distance, because of the substandard and non-existent healthcare in prisons, and because prisons are concentration camps for the poor and oppressed.
Today I'm going to be reading a letter from Wesley Massey from SCI Pine Grove. Amazon is not a new fight for the people of the South for equality and equity in the workplace. Alabama, the very heart of the civil rights movement, finds itself in the precipice of change, challenging corporate America and big business. Capitalism at its core is designed for greed and the mistreatment of its workforce, only concerned with driving its profits up at all costs. That cost is usually at the expense of its workforce, like now at the Bessemer, Alabama warehouse. They're being forced to work for low wages and in poor and in often unsafe working conditions to help Amazon's bottom line. Unions have long been a check on capitalism's predatory nature. Bessemer Amazon workers' fight for unionization is a fight rooted in the history of the South's mistreatment of its workforce, like prison chain gangs. It's prisoners in work camps that are required to grow their own crops just to eat, sharecropping, and so many other atrocities. The South is steeped in its inequality. I support the Bessemer Amazon workers for fight for unionization, for safe work conditions and better wages. Amazon will not fix this on their own. They will not work itself out through natural attrition. The workers of Bessemer Amazon need unity through unionization. Wesley Massey. Thank you.
We at the Black Alliance for Peace, we offer our warmest solidarity to the Amazon workers in Bessemer, Alabama, as they press forward to vote for their human right to have a union. We salute you as you continue that region's proud legacy of organizing for workers' rights, and we pledge our support as you boldly step into this historic moment, voting to have a union, your human right to a life of dignity with a union, and no amount of harassment or intimidation from the Amazon bosses or from the local police or anyone else shall stop you from this historic moment. These high-priced lawyers cannot stop you. It's time, it's time, it's time. As we continue with Black History Month, let us know that just last week, February 12th, marked the 53rd anniversary of the Memphis sanitation workers' strike that Dr. Martin Luther King supported. As we continue on with Black History Month, let us also be reminded that the Black Panther Party had a long history of working with unions. The Black Panther Party in Oakland, California worked with Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers in a series of actions against a grocery store chain, and that relationship lasted from 1968 to 1973. Last point I want to make, let us not be confused in this era of Black Lives Matter. The police are not workers. The FOP is not a union. The police are not workers. They only support the property interests of the capitalist class, the ruling class. So no police unions in our unions. No police unions in our unions. No police unions in our unions. So we, on behalf of the Black Alliance for Peace, we say thank you all very much. Let's organize, let's win.
If we stay together, if we stay organized, if we stay putting pressure, in the end, we are going to win. All of us out here are fighting the same battle. No matter if you are an orchestra union, a teamster, if you're from the AFSCME, public, private, all of us are fighting the same enemy. I don't care what side of the tracks you come from. I don't care what color you are. If you have a boss, you're fighting the same enemy. All right, so if you believe that all labor has dignity, I need you guys to make some noise. Come on. We gotta let our Amazon brothers and sisters know that we stand with them. We're always gonna stand with them. We have their back. And from 623 from Philly, all the way down to Bessemer, we're gonna win this thing.
We are going to keep fighting for each other until we, the workers, are in charge.
There are 500,000 people dead from this pandemic in the United States. Millions of people around the world are infected. Yet, Amazon, the richest, most powerful company in the world, has made over $21 billion from this pandemic. But what we know is this, that $21 billion doesn't drop out of the atmosphere. It is created by workers, Amazon workers who are in the most wretched working conditions. That Amazon is always going to fight unfair, and we know why. We have first-hand experience as social alternative. Shami Sawant is the independent city councilor, a socialist, independent of the Democratic Republican Party. And one of the latest victories she won was a tax on Amazon. This tax on Amazon is going to generate $500 million a year for housing, for Green New Jobs, and for emergency cash assistance for working people. What did the ruling class of Seattle do? They're launching a recall campaign against her to kick her out of office because she went to be a little protest and struggle with black and brown people, and she's a part of a socialist organization. It is not a coincidence that Amazon is fighting against a socialist city councilor who fought with BLM at the same time trying to fight against a predominantly black workplace. It is the same struggle that we are in. Our enemy is the same enemy that the Alabama workers are organizing against. In fact, Amazon is the enemy to every single fucking one of us. Amazon is the reason that this city is the poorest major city in the United States because it sucks up the wealth of the working class.
Your enemies are not the people of China or Iran or the people of Russia. These aren't our enemies. Our enemies are the bosses, the bankers, and the billionaires.
I look at the young today, and so many of them have nothing. And I know people who work for Amazon, Whole Foods, Walmart, all these. They're in and out. It's like a circus. They're in and out, in and out. Where are they protected at? And how are they protected? But at the same time, there's no protection for these people. And then you turn on CNBC and Walmart, the Walt family, Jeff Bezos, you name them all. They are clocking. They are clocking mad money. But the people who made them all of this money have no protections whatsoever. This is not just let's fight to get a union. Let's get this straight. I'm a socialist for a reason. It comes down to we are all people. Just because you don't want to go out and make $1 gazillion doesn't make you not a person. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to get a job, that you work 40 hours a week or less and be protected. And be protected as you go through life. And that does not happen today in this country. The fact of the matter is simply this. Too many people are left out. I spent 3 months last year in Penn City, down on the Parkway. And I'd sometimes be there at 1 o'clock in the morning, and what a contrast. When I look down, I see a whole field of tents. When I look up, I see a whole bunch of high-priced condos. And you ask, how can it be so different? And then if you're there early in the morning, you see people get out of tent and they actually go to a job. A job, and you're living in a tent? Make no mistake about it, the capitalists in this country and all around the world, they don't give a fuck if you live in a tent. They don't give a fuck if you live in a train station. All they really care about
It's the ticker. Is it going up or is it going down? And if it's going down, that means that, like on the slave plantation, you just aren't whipping them hard enough. Whip them a little bit harder. Whip them a little bit harder. We just aren't getting what we need here. But what is what we need? How can you be 60 years old and have $190 billion and that ain't enough? But at the same time, you have hundreds of thousands of people working for you and they fall out on the goddamn floor and they're not to be taken care of. We are human. We have no responsibility to go out and work till we kill ourselves. We do enough work to help society move itself along. They want to play the capitalist game, okay, we'll play it to a degree, for now. But what is enough? Where does it end? Where does this end? This is not just about this. This is about human people. This is about McDonald's. This is about the girl who's on the corner at 2 o'clock in the morning because that's the only way she can make a living. We have to fight this whole goddamn system. And we have to change the way